Hi everybody, and welcome to Wendy's Witness. Have you ever considered the measure of truth behind the term willpower? The full extent of the meaning behind that phrase? The free will we possess affords us power. What we choose to do with the gifts, talents, and resources God has given us matters. Think of the split-second decisions we make during the course of a regular old day. Sometimes it's not to eat something. Sometimes it's not to do something. Sometimes it's not to say something. When we make the right choice, even if we don't feel like it, especially when we don't want to, we've used the power of our will God's way. And that's something that makes us more like Christ. Well, keep watching today. I hope you will, as we seek God's will for our lives, which He gives us the power to fulfill. The power arises when our will is joined with God's will. Philippians 2:13 says, "For it is God who works in you to will and to act according to His good purpose." It is through that union that God's able to work, and we allow ourselves to become the vessel He works through. We're partners with God, and our ability to exercise our free will is of utmost importance. God comes alongside us and gives us the power to do what pleases Him. When we ask God to let us see things the way He does and maintain a grateful heart, we become a powerful, willing vessel fit for the Father's use. Knowing Jesus' work is finished, laid the foundation for us to build upon. Now we can get busy doing our Father's work as well. Matthew 8:2-3. A man with leprosy came and knelt before Him and said, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus reached out His hand and touched the man. "I am willing," He said, "be clean." Immediately he was cured of his leprosy. Here we see Jesus heal a man with leprosy. We may think, how does this apply to us if we don't have leprosy or a disease that needs to be healed? But we all have an incurable disease. We were born with it. Sin is the diagnosis for what ails us. This exchange between the infected man and Jesus mirrors the exchange we make when we realize our diagnosis is terminal and Jesus is the only cure. I know some of us have been cured for many years. We came to Jesus as a child or young adult, but this should never be forgotten. Remember what Jesus did for you. Before you were made clean and Jesus washed you white as snow, you were an outcast, doomed to live outside of the city, away from your home, destined to die. And while you did live, you never experienced a loving touch. You were always in pain. Thank God and rejoice that Jesus is the healer. He has all power. And He says, "I am willing. Be clean." Whether or not we walk with God is our choice. How much of our time or money we give to Him, ultimately, our choice. So, if we live for the here and now, having no interest in the things of God, we will be the ones who suffer the consequences. As with so many things in the natural, in order to grow, to progress, we must have discipline. The reason we put in the effort is because we like the results. We make it a priority because we have a goal in mind. So it is with our spiritual life. To be closer to Jesus and to have a more intimate walk, we too must endure the rigor of a selfless life in order to reap the rewards of knowing God more, closer than before. This takes willpower. Just know God is the one with the goal. We are in training, running this race. Dig in deep with God. He will motivate you to persevere and give you the power to cross the finish line. Why is willpower so important? Maybe because it's a fruit of the Holy Spirit. One of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control, which is another word for willpower. When we allow or choose to allow God to guide our lives, we can live by the Spirit and produce all the good fruits like love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and gentleness or humility. In those split-second decisions we talked about earlier, when we practice self-control and decide our will is to love others, then we are watering our own fruit and it grows. Keep in mind we're called to create light in the darkness and order in chaos. We are a walking Jesus billboard. Is your fruit low-hanging, shiny, appealing? Make sure people want what you have. Well, thanks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you next week. Remember, we are all witnesses.